Ramallah, West Bank. Palestinian protesters clashed with Israeli soldiers Thursday in Ramallah and other places in the West Bank and Gaza Strip, burning posters of President Trump and American flags a day after Trump decisively sided with Israel by announcing U.S. recognition of Jerusalem as its capital. Israeli police said 3 protesters were arrested in Jerusalem and that the situation was under control. The big test, however, comes Friday when large crowds leave mosques after their weekly prayers. The Palestinian Authority called for a general strike in Palestinian cities. In Gaza, the Islamist Hamas movement urged its followers to ignite a third intifada, or uprising, against Israel. Shops in Jerusalem's Old City were shuttered. The Israeli military reported that at least 3 projectiles were fired at its territory Thursday from Gaza but that both fell short, causing no damage. In response, Israeli jets and tanks struck 2 Hamas military sites in Gaza, the Israeli army said in a statement. The army holds Hamas responsible for hostile activity against Israel from the Gaza Strip, it said. On the edge of the Palestinian city of Ramallah, Israeli forces fired dozens of rounds of tear gas and stun grenades at hundreds of Palestinian protesters gathering to air their anger over Trump's statement. In some places, notably in Gaza, protesters set fire to images of Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and to U.S. and Israeli flags. Scuffles were also reported in Jerusalem. "This will be bad," said an ambulance driver in Ramallah as young men burned tires and pelted the soldiers with stones. Emergency vehicles ferried out the injured. The Palestinian Red Crescent reported that more than 100 people were hurt. Donald Trump said Jerusalem is for Israel, and I tell him, no way, go to hell, said one 43-year-old woman in the crowd, a traditional Palestinian scarf wrapped around her face. Jerusalem is for Palestine, forever, said the woman, who declined to give her name. Trump made the wrong decision, said 15-year-old Sarah Way, who was making her way toward the demonstration carrying a Palestinian flag. We will raise our voices for Jerusalem. Clashes also erupted in East Jerusalem and at the border fence between Israel and Gaza. In Bethlehem, tear gas filled streets strung with festive lights for Christmas. At one of the main checkpoints between Jerusalem and Ramallah, soldiers fired sponge bullets at children throwing stones from behind metal trash cans. Trump's announcement Wednesday that he would move the U.S. embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem and his declaration that the United States recognizes Jerusalem as Israel's capital reversed a decades-old U.S. policy. Many fear that the step could spark another bloody conflict in the region, but it remains unclear how long the demonstrations will last. Some Palestinians said they felt emboldened after a perceived victory last summer following 2 weeks of protests over metal detectors installed at the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh called for a new uprising in the Palestinian territories and declared Friday a day of rage.